It's Wednesday in the studio and I have a pretty busy week ahead. Finished all the pieces for the new collection. I did have a necklace that I made to match some of the pieces, but I don't know what happened when casting, but the stone I think fell out, and so the shape of the stone was actually in silver. So I won't be photographing that necklace today. I'm gonna try and remake it today after taking photos of all the rings that are gonna be in the new collection. These are the 4 rings. And I had a necklace to match like this set. I'm really hoping that I can remake it today and have it cast by tomorrow and then just photograph it all on its own and still launch it out. But I don't want to hold up these because of one necklace. So today we're going to photograph some of these pieces and I'll share with you guys how they come out. But we're going to photograph the pieces, and then once that's done, I need to finish up a few wax pieces. I finished one of the rings yesterday. I just need to size 2 of them up. I need to wax inject a Bogota ring, my emerald ring that I offer. So we need to wax inject one of those and then remake that necklace very quickly, and we're just gonna cast those 3 pieces. So I'm gonna invest those once that's done and then hopefully cast tonight. Worst case scenario, I cast in the morning. Those are the things that I want to accomplish today, and if I can, the pieces are being invested and they're waiting. I'm gonna try and start editing those photos of the rings. Tomorrow I need to calculate the cost of all the jewelry, make sure all the editing of the photos is done, create the products and the descriptions in Shopify. There's just so many things. I need to make a list so I don't forget anything. And yeah, I'm just gonna take you guys along on the week before my launch of my jewelry. And yeah, I think it'll be fun. So let's go take photos of the jewelry while we still have some sunlight. So I just finished photographing all of the pieces. I didn't get a video of it because I was using my camera, but everything has been photographed now. I just need to photograph them in my light box, the one with the white background, and then I'll be good to start on my waxwork. So I just finished taking pictures of all of the jewelry. I love every piece so much. I wish I could have had this collection be a little bit bigger, but this collection was kind of blended on the heels of the chaos of the last month of my life. So it is what it is. I'd rather put it out now than not put it out at all or push it off too far. So this collection is going to be out on Monday. So I need to finish these wax pieces that I was working on, inject the ring, make a necklace. This all needs to go very quickly because I need to get it invested and start editing these photos. So let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to straighten up a bit. This place is a mess. I think this is the first time that I'm going to get to show you guys the wax injector. So let's turn on the wax pot so it can heat up, fix the ring, make the necklace, and then by the time I'm done with those, that pot will be heated up and we can inject the Bogota ring. So I think I mentioned earlier in the video that I had made a necklace to go along with this collection, and then I felt like the stone had fallen out and silver had been cast in its place. I assumed that that's what happened, or I thought maybe like the heat did something to the stone. I don't know. I was just so confused because I used moissanite from the same batch in a different ring in the same casting, and those came out perfectly. So I was really confused as to what happened to this necklace. And so this is the necklace I was talking about. It has a moissanite in it, and the bottom one was supposed to be a diamond. And I don't know if you guys can see that how it's in the same shape, but you don't see a stone there. So I was just opening those stones and I thought like, okay, if this stone did fall out, then it must be in the kiln. And so I just checked it and I found the stone sitting in the bottom of the kiln. So I'm not 100% sure how that happened. It's never happened to me before. There was one thing that I did though, that while I was doing it, I thought, is this okay? Is this a good idea? I'm guessing it's not, and I won't ever do it again. But whenever I sprued the wax tree, I had this necklace at the very, very top. And instead of it it pointing at like an angle or, you know, being upside down at an angle. I had it straight up and down. And I didn't even notice that I did until I was pouring the investment over the flask. And I just remember looking at it and thinking like, that looks odd. You know, I had it flat at the top of my tree. So maybe it didn't have anything holding it and it just fell when the wax got burned out. But anyway, it was just really strange. It's strange that that happened. So hopefully I can save this moissanite and just like cut it out and melt down this silver. But yeah, that's what happened. And I found the moissanite, so that saves me some money. So anyway, let's get to work. I really want to use this same stone because it's the same shape, Montana sapphire, as in the other ring. So let's see if we can quickly just cut it out and then I can reuse it. I wonder if I'd be better off using flush cutters, just cutting the metal away like that. I don't know. I don't want to break the stone. I'm also hopeful that the stone won't mind being baked again because that's a lot of heat to put a stone through. And I know that sapphires are like one of the best stones for being heated, so I think it will be okay, but that doesn't feel safe to me, honestly. So I finally pried the stone out. Here's what's left of the mangled necklace. So I'm gonna quickly try and remake this again, and that way we can cast this piece today or tomorrow. So the wax injector is at 150 degrees right now. It needs to be at 180. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this necklace and resize the ring that I was working on yesterday, and then we can inject the Bogota ring. So the wax injector is up to temperature. It's the one that requires an air compressor, and I'll link it down below if you're looking for a wax injector. The way that it works is I turn on my air compressor and I build up just about anywhere from 15 to 20 psi. You really don't need more than that. So build that pressure up in your air compressor, and then you're gonna open the valve on the wax injector, which is gonna allow the pressure to rise in there as well. If I remember correctly, the last time I wax injected, I did it when the wax injector reached 10 psi. So once you get the right amount of pressure in your wax injector, you're gonna close off the line so no additional pressure builds and turn off your air compressor. You wanna make sure that when you're done with this entire process that you bleed out your air compressor and your wax injector so that you don't build up moisture in these machines. So let's get started. Also, the last thing is you need some sort of ear protectors. These air compressors are really loud, and the only ear protectors I have are my husband's old, you know, Flightline headphones. So whatever you wanna wear works, just wear your protection. So So now that the pressure is built up in there, I can open up this line and allow the pressure to build. So you can see it starting to build. You can see it's going up, 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 and I'm leaving that open. And as soon as it gets to the amount of pressure that I need, I just close it off. So I'm gonna get it right about to 10, maybe I'll leave it there. Now I'm just gonna place my emerald in my mold. This part can be a little tricky when you're casting stones in place. And for me, I always have to do it just a few times just to get the stone right. And that's okay. It's okay to have to like do it multiple times. So I try and set it in there where I think it belongs. And I think that looks about right. And if it doesn't come out well, no worries, I just do it again. So I like to clamp it between two of these plastic pieces. And that way I can apply like an even distribution of pressure. These were some of the first molds that I ever made, and I definitely should have done like shorter molds. So I do know better now. So if you're watching this, just know your molds don't need to be as big as mine are right now. Definitely not. So all you do is you just hold tight, put it up to the nozzle and push. And you just need to push until you see it all filled. And I like to just keep it squeezed for a few seconds, like maybe 5 seconds, just so everything like dries and hardens and gets all the right impression. I think this one filled all the way, but if not, I can just do it again. So let's see how this one turned out. So this is how it looks whenever you inject it, and then you just have to peel it out without breaking it, of course, but that actually came out really nice and even. There's a little bit of smudging up here, but I always touch this one up anyway afterward, just what's around the stone. So let me make sure the stone's actually even. There's some wax covering it. All right, so actually after looking at it a little more closely, the stone is just a little bit crooked, so I'm gonna re-inject this one. So let's see, just have to dig the stone out. So let's build back up some pressure in the pot and try this again. So build the pressure. I'm gonna put this back on here. So we're gonna sit with it just for a little bit. Hopefully that one did a little bit better. These silicone molds are really, really nice. They just get really dirty. They collect a lot of dust. I also, while I have everything hot and ready, I would like to just go ahead and wax inject a few more of these necklaces so that I have them available while the pressure is up. Right, so this one's had a little bit of time to dry. Let's see how this one looks. So this one already looks a lot better. I just need to make sure that the stone is nice and straight. It is still a little bit crooked, so let's try this one more time. So this keeps leaning a little too far to the right, so I'm gonna try and keep it nice and straight. All right, so while that one dries, let's check on this one. So this one came out great. A lot less intricate with the stone not being cast in place, but I actually am gonna start casting these stones in place for these necklaces. But I also made my sprue too long on this mold, but it's okay. This was my very first one I'd ever done. Come on, third time's a charm. So this last one came out really well. I'm gonna go touch up the opening, but first we need to bleed out the pressure from our wax injector. So to do that, all you have to do is pull this handle and let all that air out. I've already turned off the unit so it's not hot anymore. You wanna make sure you do the same thing to your air compressor. Even though the pressure's at 0, you still need to bleed it out. So I just finished up the new necklace and I'm so much happier with the way this came out the second time around. There was something a little bit awkward about the first piece, and this one just seems way more symmetrical. And I used a cushion cut Montana sapphire and 2 moissanite. I made the bail like really wide at the top, and I don't know, I really am happy with this. I'm gonna go ahead and sprue up this little necklace and the rings and invest it. Well, if I were to cast right now, what time is it? If I started it at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. Okay, never mind. Can y'all hear Isaac singing? Okay, side note, my son is 8. He never stops talking, even when he's alone, when he's taking a shower or taking a shit, he's always talking to himself like a full conversation. Does anyone else's kid do that? Anyway, I'm gonna sprue up these pieces and invest them today, and then early in the morning I will cast them. So that'll be a part of our video tomorrow. I didn't get to editing the photos. I'll probably start those tonight on my laptop just while we're watching TV and stuff. And then tomorrow while these are cooking in the oven, we'll finish editing the photos and create our marketing email. Let's go ahead and sprue these up and invest it, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow. So it's the next day. I hope you can hear me because I have the fan going, but I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning to turn on the kiln and put the flask in just so I didn't have to wait all day to cast. Because since I am casting stones in place, I can't quench this. So I have to wait another 2 hours afterward to break it open. So I started it at 4 o'clock this morning. The temperature is now around 1,000 degrees. So once it gets to 1,000 degrees, or this is close enough for me, honestly, I set my timer for 45 minutes to an hour before I'm ready to cast. I like to let my flask sit in the kiln at 1,000 degrees for at least 45 minutes before I cast. Normally I have to start melting my silver around 30 minutes before the kiln is done. But for this one, I'm gonna wait about 15, maybe 20 minutes. So while we wait for the 45 minutes, I'm gonna edit my tips video for my Instagram subscribers, and then I'm gonna finish editing the photos for my website and start creating those listings and creating the marketing email. So let's do that. So this furnace is in Fahrenheit and I have it set to 1790 degrees Fahrenheit. I used to set it a little bit higher when I was using a different melting furnace because I had to take crucible out and pour it, and I would lose a lot of heat in that way because I was a slow pourer. But because this one is one that you pick up and pour, you never really have to worry about losing that heat. I brought the temperature down a little bit and I think this will be just fine. So just by the looks of it, how it poured and everything, I think that was a successful pour, but we'll only really know once we break it open. So I have to give it about 2 hours before I break it open. I've always gotten nervous when casting, like when pouring and stuff. Having the one that tilts to pour makes it so much less nerve-wracking. Not having to like pick up a hot crucible and pour it, possibly miss, and then put it back. I just think when casting in general, there's a lot of room for error, and that's one of the places where your error could hurt you. So it just makes me feel more comfortable using that. I'll have it linked down below in the description if you're interested in purchasing one. So yeah, let's go edit some videos and photos. So I finished the tips video for the Instagram subscribers. I posted a reel and I was able to edit a few photos. It is time though to open the flask. It should be cool by now. It's been a little over 2 hours and it's a small flask, so it really doesn't need a ton of time to cool down. So I'm gonna open up that flask, pick off the necklace first and finish it. And then I'm gonna finish editing all the photos upstairs because I'm freezing down here. My hands and my feet are so cold. For those of you that don't know, my studio is in my basement and I use my pellet stove to keep me warm down here. I have a huge stock of pellets in our storage outside, but we either lost or threw away the key, and so I can't get my pellets out, and I haven't bought any just to get me over the little hump of when we figure out how to get that door open. So I'm cold. I'm gonna do what I can down here with that jewelry, and then I'm gonna go upstairs and warm up and edit photos on the couch on my laptop, because that's the perk of working from home. If there's something that needs to be done that's stationary and it's not needing to be done at the workbench, then I can do it on the couch. So let's open that flask and see how those castings turned out.
I remember when you told me it's alright. Don't know why I could not see. We have to stay together now. Save me some time. Gonna be fine. The light. I am looking for a fire to keep me on the line. Yeah, a fire with a dazzling light. And I don't know if I am closer. Still looking for a fire in the end of the night.
Okay, so for the collection, I am not sure why this is happening. I don't know if maybe I didn't put enough wax over the stone, but one of the stones fell out again in the casting process. I did pull the moissanite out of the kiln, and I'm just gonna flush set it. It's just one of the 3 stones, so instead of casting this all over again, I've just drilled a hole, burred a seat out for the stone, and I'm gonna flush set it, and honestly, it won't look that much different than the others. So I burred a seat for the stone, and I'm about to flush set it. That way I don't have to recast this whole piece just for this one stone. So that's what I'm doing right now, and then I'm gonna clean it up. And I think actually we're going on a road trip tomorrow to go pick up a trailer bed, like the bed of a truck. So I think I might use that time to edit those photos and just use the rest of this day to finish as many rings as I can, as many of the pieces and orders that I can. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna work on these rings for the rest of the day. So I just finished this little necklace and sanding and polishing it. Get you a little closer so you can see. But it's 2 moissanite and a Montana sapphire, and it matches like this collection. It's all Montana sapphire and moissanite. So this necklace will be in my new collection, and it'll be a made-to-order piece. These other pieces that I cast today are pieces that people ordered. It was this Bogota ring, the lab-grown emerald, and this pink tourmaline 3-piece set. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these off the sprue and start sanding and polishing them. I'm trying to get as much done as I can before Tom gets home. I think it's 5 o'clock and he gets home around 5:30-ish. I don't want to take time away from him, so I'm gonna do as much as I can and then maybe finish the rest tomorrow. So I just finished polishing and cleaning up these rings. I really should make a mold of this 3-piece set, but I don't think I have time to, so it might be something I just need to make again soon and make a mold of it and it not be in order. This was a really long day of jewelry making. I was not anticipating working until 7:30 today, but we're going on a little road trip tomorrow and I don't want to feel guilty for taking Friday off, so I let it be a late day. I didn't make it to the email part or editing all the photos for the launch on Monday. That'll just be something that I need to squeeze in this weekend. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you enjoy these videos, please consider subscribing and liking the video. It really helps me when you take the action of telling the algorithm that you like my videos and that they're decent. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.